a lot of times people, not just women, but people, they might start something, they think they want something, and they go after it, and it gets a little bit difficult, and they say, oh, there's an obstacle, or you hit a brick wall, and they stop, they hit that brick wall, and they can't go any further. And it's like, sis, brick walls are not there to keep you out, they're there to keep people out who don't want it badly enough.
Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a motivational keynote speaker, and today I'm bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with the one and only Brodnax. Let me tell you a little bit about Shell. Shell is the founder and CEO of the Real Estate Staging Association and a speaker, influencer, coach, and an author. Does a lot of things. Welcome, Shell.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So excited to do a Take the Doughnut interview with you. And before we get into anything more serious, we have to start with the basic question of, what is your favorite donut?
Oh, chocolate glazed.
Oh. Yep, you're a woman after my own heart.
Or even the chocolate bar. I remember when I was a kid, my dad every Sunday morning used to go and get donuts, and he would bring them back, and he'd have the chocolate bars. But yeah, chocolate glaze, whether it be the bar or the circle, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yum. That sounds amazing.
And Krispy Kreme. I am a Krispy Kreme girl.
That's awesome. And it sounds like it's also associated with a tradition in your family.
Yeah, it's I haven't thought about that in like 45 years, but thanks. Trip down memory lane.
I'm here to bring you the nostalgia that you needed today.
There you go.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Look, I know you're a woman who's done a lot of things in her life, so I gave a very quick version of your bio, but what else should we know as an overview?
I don't know. I'd say that just history-wise, work-wise, I've done a lot. I've always been in management. I think since I was my very first job when I was like 16, I ended up managing people that were 30. And it just kind of was very natural for me to be in leadership roles and positions and whatnot. Fun fact, a lot of things that people don't know about me is I used to be a licensed private investigator for about a decade. Fun stuff there. That was a really good job. I loved it. Had my own business doing that for a while as well. I worked for others and then had my own business. And I got in the staging industry in about 2002, and I've been here ever since. I'm an avid horse person. And I live on a 23-acre farm in Western North Carolina, and I'm just living my best life.
All that in one lifetime so far. And what more can you do? Yeah, it's amazing, all these different chapters that you've had. Well, today's conversation, this is a Take the Doughnut interview. And for me, that's an expression that means carpe diem. I once left a donut on a table in college, and the realizations that came from that, led me to Olympic Games and working in 4 countries and starting my own business. So it led me to a lot of interesting new ideas and opportunities. And so I want to take the donut now. I want to encourage myself to go after the thing that I want. And that's the thing that I say to myself all the time. I'm going to link a video here for those who haven't heard the origin story behind that. But it means that this conversation is all about what it looks like practically to go after opportunities in your life. And I know you're the woman to talk to about this. So, if we just start here, how are you with going after goals? What is that process like for you?
It's a great question. I'm super goal oriented. I always have been. In fact, if somebody tells me like I can't do something, they pretty much sealed the deal. So if they're doing it like they really don't want me to do it, and they tell me that, they're going to get on the losing end of that statement. And I love a good challenge. One thing that I think about women in general, to talk about the patriarchy and misogyny, I literally see it everywhere. Everywhere I see it. And so many women, I think they're a little bit afraid to kind of go after it. And we've always been told, be smaller and don't talk so much and don't be so much out there. And I think that's still a thing in today's day and age. It's definitely got a lot better over the years, but I think that everybody just needs to pursue their dreams, be goal oriented, go after what it is that you want. I think also, a lot of times people, not just women, but people, they might start something, they think they want something and they go after it and it gets a little bit difficult and they say, oh, there's an obstacle, you hit a brick wall. And they stop, they hit that brick wall and they can't go any further. And it's like, sis, brick walls are not there to keep you out. They're there to keep people out who don't want it badly enough. It's like, if you want what's on the other side of that brick wall, that obstacle, scale the wall, dig a hole underneath it, hit it with some C4, blow it the hell up, figure it out, go around it, have somebody lift you up over the top, get some help. In general, I find with human natures, the most part of human nature, we really do like to help others. And when you find your people that are able to help, a lot of times you just reach out and ask somebody, can you help me with this? Most of the time people are more than happy to do it. But those obstacles, those walls, they're really there to keep the people out that don't want it badly enough, because if it stops you right there, you weren't meant to have what's on the other side of it.
So many things to unpack from what you just said. So no, obviously a lot of goals are ones that are going to take a lot of time, or you're going to hit some obstacles along the way. When that happens for you, what keeps you motivated personally as you're going through, the process?
It's the challenge for me. I like to overcome a challenge, no matter what it is. Even like, I'm very competitive. And the thing that I wish everybody could know is that competition is not with who you think your competitor is. It's yourself. It's literally myself. So in my line of work, or any line of work that I've ever done, I don't have competitors. I don't care what you're doing over there, because if I focus on what you're doing over there, I lose track and I'm looking over there and I'm not looking at my own goals. I'm moving myself forward. So for me, very super competitive person. And I just set my own goals, and I set them slightly higher, just enough to freak me out a little bit, like slightly higher than I think that I can possibly do. And most times I blow past them. So it's just being goal oriented. And I think that not everybody is like that, but you got to find something to muster up. You got to find something important enough to be able to be like that and work a strategy to hit whatever it is that you want.
Absolutely. You've said the word challenges a few times in your answers here. So is there a particular brand of challenge that you always seem to encounter no matter what goal you're going after? Is there just something that it's like, it always seems to come up for you?
Not really. I think that in my current line of work, the biggest challenge is getting things done as quickly as I'd like them to get done. And it's just bandwidth issues, working in teams, collaborative efforts, things like that. It takes a lot longer to get something done than when you're doing it just on your own.
Okay. Well, let's look back historically, and you could probably take this answer a lot of different ways, but what would you say is the biggest donut you've ever taken? Personal, professional, whatever comes to mind for you, biggest donut you've ever taken.
Oh boy. There's a few. I think I want to tell a story because it comes back kind of again to the power of focus, of where you're focusing on. Years ago, I really needed some tension relieving activities. And I went to the doctor and I said, hey man, I am stressed. What do I do? And he said, try yoga. And I said, all right, meditation, yoga, the whole bit. So I go out and I buy the ball, I buy the DVD, I buy a mat, sit in the living room, get everybody out of my house, all the people, children, dogs, everything, get out, sat down. I fell off the ball and I hit my head on the fireplace. And I was like, yeah, I'm not a yoga kind of girl. And the quieter that I get, the more the business ideas, it just keeps going. Everything gets louder and louder and louder. And so I went back to the doctor and I said, yeah, yoga didn't quite work out for me. What else you got, doc? And I said, what about horses? I was thinking about horses. And he's like, oh yeah, equine therapy, go do that. And so I talked to a friend. She had a mom who had 15 horses. So I went out to their ranch and I sat with them. And I was like, I've always been in love with the idea of horses and always wanted one. I rode one or two when I was a kid, nothing to speak about. And I do what every sane person does after you've met your first horse when you're 44 years old, and I go out and I buy one because that's just a great idea. And then I get on stage at a conference and I'm a little cocky and I tell everybody about this fantastic idea, and I'm going to go and I'm going to compete because I'm a competitive individual. And yet I've never ridden a horse more than 50 feet on my own. I'm going to go out and win something. And I didn't. But I bought the horse and I got it going, and I decided to take on the challenge. And I was last place 12 times. And I used to get up at 4. I was committed to this. I mean, this is something that I was massively committed to, Melissa. I woke up at 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday to go to where my horse was boarded, fish him out of a field with a flashlight, haul him in a trailer, drive 2 hours to get to an event to do your run, which is only 8 minutes. And I was last place 12 times, 2 different circuits that I did. And the problem that I was having in there, it wasn't necessarily that I was doing anything wrong, but my competitors that were there, they have classes in horsemanship. So newbies come in this category, intermediate riders go to this, really experienced go to this. Well, the really experienced people that were born on a haystack and have been riding horses for 40 years were competing at my level just to win. And I was like, well, that's not fair. And of course, if something's not fair, I'm like super vocal about that. I'm like, you're the first person to try to come in and equalize it all. And it just killed me. It absolutely killed me and demoralized me. And I almost quit. And I'm not a quitter, but I wanted to really, really badly. And then I went to an equine performance coach and she gave me a test. And she said, after I took the test, she came back. She said, I've never seen such incredible scores about competition in my entire time of giving this test. Yours are spectacular, except for one little area. And I'm like, oh no, I'll do that part over again. I don't fail tests. I'll do it again. Give it to me again. She's like, no, I'm going to change your life. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I've got insight. You want to win? Stop focusing on your competitor. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, you're worried about what everybody else does. And I said, no, wait, you don't understand. I'm a business coach and I work with real estate stagers every day. And that's literally my soapbox, because they always call in and they say, my competitor's doing this, my competitor's doing that. And I'm like, why are you worried about them? And then I tell them, I actually use my horsemanship journey to actually coach people now when I say, when you're riding a horse, if I want to get from point A to point B, I have to look where it is that I'm going, because if I look this way on my horse is going to go the way that I look. And it's the same thing with the power of focus with what you're doing in any business or anything it is that you want to achieve in your life. So my soapbox was literally telling women not to worry about their competitors, but yet I was doing the same thing. So when she said that, I was obviously very shocked. And I said, okay, well, I don't think she knows what she's talking about, but all right, we'll just try it. She said, just follow the advice of what you would tell your people. And I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. So I left, and then I thought about it and I soaked on it. The season started up again. And I said, okay, I'm not going to worry about these cheaters. You want to cheat to win, go ahead. You compete with me on a fair and even game. I will shake your hand if you whoop me. That's not a problem. I don't care to lose to somebody who's competing fairly. And my first event out, I didn't even stick around for the announcements because I was sure I was going to be last place again, and I just didn't care. But I had a really great run. I mean, I was like really proud of that run. And all of a sudden people started screaming my name. And I was like, what is happening? Why are you yelling? And they're like, come here, come here. And they're like, you won. I'm like, what? And they're like, first place. I got first place the first time practicing this. And I was like, ooh, that lady knows what she's talking about. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the power of focus. So I did that for every event that particular year. I didn't finish less than 4th that year. And I would have done better on the 4th one, but I chickened out of an obstacle, just made me nervous. So it was too risky. So I didn't do it. And I won a state championship that year. I mean, I went from losing 12 times in a row to a state championship. So I think that's my biggest thing. That's something I really, really wanted. And I knew it was for me, and I knew it was waiting for me. But a lot of people along the way said, you can't have it. You'll never do it. Do you have any idea how many years it takes somebody to compete on that level and to win and to, do all these things. And I just put my blinders on and just did it.
I love so many things about that story. One of the things I love the most, if we sort of rewind to the beginning of it, is I think the answers are always within us. You know, like the instinct that you had that this was the right path for you when there was not really anything to suggest that it should be. Like you didn't have that much experience with horses that you would like decide this is the thing that's going to make me feel at peace. And yet you knew, you know, somewhere in you knew, you just had to be able to listen to it. So I think there's a lot of really beautiful elements of that story. Yeah. And it's opened up this whole path for you.
It has. It served me well. And now in my coaching, I use this and I talk to people, you know, about how to set their goals and their strategies. I mean, even wrote a book on it, you know, it just turned it into a whole thing and a speech and the whole bit. And it just makes so much sense. Now that I've gone through it, I think it just kind of adds, you know, on some helpful things that I can share with people to help them get where they want to be.
Absolutely. Well, let's turn that focus on you for a moment. Is there a donut that you want to take right now? Something that's maybe currently in progress or in the works in your brain?
Probably nothing that I can share.
Okay.
But there is.
You're at that level. There's a lot of secrecy happening. It's all,
it's all in the works.
In progress. Yeah. That's
awesome. And another donut for me too was just changing my lifestyle. I mean, I just turned 55 last weekend. 4 years ago, well, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I was speaking at an event in Toronto with a bunch of other speakers in an Airbnb, and we were talking about next steps and what to do and whatnot. And I remember saying to them, and this is again manifestation, it's weird how it works sometimes, but I said, you know, I really want to get out of California. If I could just find a little horse farm somewhere and do a little horse boarding to support my horse habit, I would love to do that. Well, in California and in my discipline of riding, it's very Western. So we don't say farms, we say ranches. So I don't even know why I said the word farm. No clue. I would never use that term consciously. As soon as I said that, legit, the next week, I started seeing, you know, commercials on TV about North Carolina, and everything was pointing to North Carolina, and my dad's live here. So I was like, well, this is kind of weird. Maybe I feel like I need to be moving to North Carolina. And I knew it. I just knew it. Then I had to convince the husband. Took a year to do that. He was like, no way, Jose, not happening. I've never lived anywhere but 20 minutes from where he was born. He was like, not having it. And I wanted it. And I knew it was for us. And I knew it was the right thing for him too. I just like knew it like I was going to wake up the next day. And everything just kept falling into place. And June of 2019, we bought a 23-acre horse farm in Western North Carolina. I have a 9-stall barn. I have an amazing business. It's called Sisterhood Stables, and it supports my horse habit. So there you go.
What a journey you've been on with this. So incredible. Yeah. It's another life that you're living.
Totally changed my life. Night and day difference.
Wow. Absolutely wonderful. Well, look, there may be people listening to all this who have a goal in mind for themselves, maybe something they are willing to articulate or not, maybe something they've started to go after or not. They might need some help to figure out how to get there. So let's sprinkle some encouragement. What would you say to those people who would like to take a donut? They're just not sure what the next step is.
Write it in an outline format. What I like to encourage people to do is write like a dream statement first, a narrative, and write it in the present tense. So whatever it is that they're wanting, if I don't even know what it would be, they want to start a new business. Let's say they want to do a dog grooming business, and you write up, I have the best dog grooming business of my dreams. I have a shop that has 6 stations in it. I employ 3 other groomers. I make X amount of money. Map it out. I have a shop in this shopping center. Whatever it is that you want, dream big and really craft it. Like if you could bewitch it. Sorry, I have to get my pop references. Bewitch. That's Samantha Stevens. It was a TV shows from the 60s. Probably y'all don't know it, but she was a witch. She wiggled her nose and stuff.
Yeah, the crinkle of the nose, which I can't really do.
Crinkle of the nose.
Yeah.
So, you just figure out biggest thing, whatever it is that you can dream, and make that dream statement. And then you take each one of those things that you want and you prioritize it. Out of these things, which would I have to have first? And then you make that as your first goal. And then and then what you do with that goal let's just say you need a certification. I need a certification to be able to do this. How am I going to do this? Research certifications, choose certification, take certification, boom, done. So you write it all out. Then the next one, what is it that you need? You need the shop. Well, then I'd be going on my dream statement, figuring out which shopping center did I say, and then I'd be looking at the commercial real estate to see if they have any shops available. And you just write every strategy for every one of those goals in order to make it happen. And you have to work it. I'm a very big believer in a manifestation. I also believe that you should do vision boards. What's funny is I'm looking at my vision board over here from many, many years ago, and I drew things out for a business idea. But when you take this vision board and you overlay it like over the top of what my property is, a barn is in the right spot, the house is in the exact spot, everything works perfectly. But I think that these are good visual reminders. And we talk about manifestation, it's not just, cutting things out of a magazine and sticking it on a board and wishing for things to happen. That's not what manifestation is. But these are good reminders to be able to keep you in sync with what your goals are, so you don't forget them. But you have to work them every day. And it's really that simple.
Beautifully said. And hopefully that inspires everybody to start taking that action, to make your outline, break down the steps, and start going after it. Well, you've mentioned a lot of different places where we could potentially find you. So let us know where we can find you. I'll make sure to put links in the description, but what links should I put?
Sure. My Instagram is Shell Brodnax Official. And I think I'm on TikTok, Shell Brodnax Official too. Anything just Shell Brodnax, you can just stick it in and I will come up.
Perfect. Did you want to plug any of the business endeavors as well?
Yeah, we've got realestateStagingAssociation.com if you are a real estate agent and want to learn more about real estate staging. If you're somebody who thinks that your goal and your strategies might be to become a home stager, reach out to us. We can help you and put you on your way for that as well. Or if you're a homeowner and you want to sell your home and you're looking for a stager, we've got a directory and we can hook you up there. We service all of North America.
Awesome. Well, everybody be sure to check out those resources. And if you liked watching this video, be sure to like and subscribe, because we have plenty more inspirational interviews still to come. But Shell, thank you so much for taking some time out, for talking about what it looks like to go after goals, and for helping other people to take the donut too.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Always great to see you.
Likewise. All right, everybody, you know what to do. Get inspiration, get donuts. Bye.
Bye.